Today, we are not going to be talking about remote jobs where you become a virtual assistant or you learn to code or you do data entry or stuff that all the other YouTubers keep telling you to do. No, we're going to be talking about bizarre remote jobs that sound completely made up, but are 100% legitimate careers that companies are actually hiring for in 2025. Yes, today I'm going to be showing you career paths where 99% of people don't even know they exist. So if you are ready to discover some bizarre but legitimate ways to make money remotely, then hit that like button and let's dive into these weird AF careers. Now, before we get into this, one thing I am going to say about these careers is obviously not every one of these is going to be perfect for every person out there. A lot of them are weird, and so therefore, probably only 1% of people watching the video is going to be a good fit for that career. But chances are you're going to see at least one in this video that either you or somebody you know would be a good fit for. So with that being said, job number one is going to be a human evaluator for Roblox. So first up, we got a job that literally pays you to play in the metaverse, a human evaluator, and specifically for the video game Roblox.
Okay. Well played.
And I'm not making this shit up. Robot is actually hiring people to test features, classify content, and provide feedback on their platform. And they're paying up to $23 an hour to do it remotely. Now, I found an actual job listing where they're looking for people with experience in Roblox Studio and knowledge of Lua programming. So in this position, you'd be testing new features, reviewing content, and basically getting paid to understand a virtual world better than most people understand the real one. Now, is this the most prestigious job title to put on LinkedIn? Probably not, but you're making over $23 an hour and you're working from your couch while most of your friends are commuting 2 hours daily. So is it worth it? Could be. Now, the job does require about 25 to 29 hours per week, and it does come with benefits like health insurance and 401k, and you can literally do it in your underwear if you want to, though I don't recommend that during video meetings. Now, I did find a 5-star review from an actual human evaluator who describes it as very fun work, where they see real changes to the platform, with the only downside being the work by nature is repetitive, which is probably a small price to pay for a remote job that lets you skip the commute. So the barrier to entry here isn't even that high. You need some basic understanding of Roblox and a year of experience with the platform. And there are literally 14-year-olds who could qualify for this job if they were old enough to work. And this isn't just some dead-end weird job either. Human evaluators often move into UX research roles, game platform design positions, or content moderation management, with salaries jumping from $85,000 to $120,000 a year. And companies like Meta, Google, and Microsoft also hire people with this exact experience for their metaverse and AI initiatives. So yeah, not bad, especially if you're a video game connoisseur, someone who likes to play Roblox already. This could be especially good for you. And Roblox isn't the only company that does this.
Quick break, this video is sponsored by me. Most of you don't know that I actually have my own coaching program on personal branding and then growing and making money on YouTube. And this is good for complete beginners, maybe even people who just want to get a job by growing their personal brand, all the way up to people who are very advanced on YouTube. And they get to work directly with myself and my team to help them reach their goals. Now, we are opening up 3 to 5 spots, and this is pretty rare. We usually don't have these open. We usually only limit them to select people. But we're opening up 3 to 5 spots, and you can check those out down in the description and the pinned comment below. And in this program, you'll get to work directly with myself and other people who are highly successful on YouTube. Just as an example, Sean was able to go all the way from being stuck, not making very much money on his channel, to making over $500,000 a month. Now, that's an example of one of my more advanced students, but there's lots of examples of people who started off from scratch and they got to 5K a month, 10K a month, etc. So check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below.
And the next one is a remote emergency dispatcher, which honestly sounds like something that shouldn't be allowed to exist, but it does. And if you think about it, it actually does make a lot of sense. A lot of the job is just sitting around waiting for someone else to have an emergency and answering the phone immediately when they do. And so it makes a lot of sense to have people work from home rather than working in a call center. And so some agencies are installing dispatch consoles in people's homes complete with backup power systems, though typically only for experienced dispatchers that they trust to work unsupervised. So places like Miami University, for instance, are hiring remote emergency dispatchers for $20 an hour with benefits. And in this position, you'll be handling emergency calls and dispatching police, fire, or medical services all from your home office. And yes, you will be handling actual emergencies where your decisions could literally save someone's life. So it's not for everyone. Now, you don't need a college degree for this, just a high school diploma or GED. And the job requires you to remain calm under pressure, have knowledge of communications equipment, and make quick decisions in stressful situations. Now, is it an emotionally intense job? Absolutely. Will you occasionally hear people having the worst day of their lives or one of the worst days? Yes, but you could be making a real difference while working remotely, which is more than most people can say about their bullshit corporate jobs. And $20 an hour with full benefits working from home beats making the same money while wearing a name tag and dealing with customers face to face all day. Now, by the way, this role can become a stepping stone for becoming an emergency services coordinator or a 911 operations manager, or even moving into emergency management roles with government agencies. And these positions can pay $65,000 to $90,000 annually and offer incredible job security since emergency services never go out of business. Now, by the way, guys, if you're curious about how I've grown this YouTube channel and how I make these videos so entertaining yet educational, I am going to be hosting a live YouTube training on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I basically just revealed the exact strategies that I used to grow my channel to multiple six figures per month. So that's another free training for you. All right, next one is an aftercare coordinator, and this one gets a little bit morbid, but stay with me because it's fascinating. Funeral homes like Peterson Funeral and Cremation Services are hiring remote aftercare coordinators at $16 to $18 an hour at the time of writing this video. Now, I'm just giving this as an example. By the time this video posts, especially if it's, a few days or a week into posting, there's probably not going to be any positions left. So I'm just giving it as an example. You have to look up your own positions or subscribe to my newsletter because we drop a lot of positions there. And these people basically help families after the funeral is over. So you'll be organizing remembrance events, providing grief support services, and making sure families have the resources that they need during one of the most difficult times in their lives. So if you've got a high level of compassion and strong communication skills, this could be perfect for you. So the job requires you to understand the grief cycle, and you need to have experience in grief care, hospice, or counseling. So is it depressing? Sometimes, probably, but it's also meaningful work that you can do remotely while making a real difference in people's lives. And let's be honest, dealing with grief is probably less soul-crushing than dealing with Karen from accounting, who keeps passive-aggressively reminding you about TPS reports. Now, when it comes to a future career path, this role can evolve into becoming a grief counselor, bereavement services director, or even launching your own aftercare consulting business for funeral homes. And with additional certifications in grief counseling, you could eventually earn $60,000 to $85,000 annually while maintaining a fully remote work environment. Next is an ethical hacker or a penetration tester. Now, this next job literally pays you to hack into systems legally. So if you're a little bit of a bad boy, you got a little bit of a mean streak, and you're also a bit of a nerd, you probably tried to hack things here and there in your past. But if you're actually a good person in your heart of hearts, then you may be able to get hired by companies that are hiring ethical hackers or penetration testers to break into their systems, find vulnerabilities, and report back before the bad guys find them first. And the best part, many of these jobs are fully remote, paying well over $100,000 a year for experienced professionals. And you don't necessarily need a computer science degree either. And there are certifications like Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH, or Offensive Security Certified Professional, OSCP, that can get your foot in the door. Think about it. You get to use all the skills that would otherwise land you in federal prison, but instead, companies thank you and pay you well for finding their security flaws. Now, you'll need to learn some technical skills for sure, but if you're the kind of person who's always been kind of curious about these macabre topics like hacking and the dark web and stuff like that, and also just how systems work and how they can be broken, this might be your calling. Now, I found a Reddit comment from an ethical hacker who landed a corporate security job with minimal experience. And he basically said that experience doesn't mean much. It's all about being able to sell yourself, which is exactly what I've been saying. Now, when it comes to future career paths, this one is one of the most upwardly mobile careers on our list. For instance, you could become a chief information security officer or a CISO, a security architect, or you could even start your own cybersecurity consulting firm. And this could make you anywhere from $150,000 to over $300,000 a year. And the demand is only increasing as cyber threats grow more sophisticated. Next is a digital executor, and boy, is this one weird. So did you know that when you die, your Facebook account doesn't automatically disappear? Neither does your email, your cloud storage, your cryptocurrency, or any of those other digital assets that you've accumulated. Well, enter the digital executor, or more commonly known as the digital estate manager, someone who helps families figure out what to do with all the digital assets of their deceased loved ones. Now, this is a growing field because the first generation that's lived their entire adult lives online is starting to die off, and most people have no plan for what happens to their digital lives lives after they're gone. Now, as a digital estate manager, you'll help clients create plans for their digital assets and help families execute those plans after someone's passed away. And this can include everything from closing social media accounts down, to transferring cryptocurrency holdings, to retrieving precious photos and videos that are priceless. And the pay varies widely since this is still an emerging field, but specialists can easily charge $75 to $150 an hour for consulting services, all done remotely. Now, is it a bit morbid? Yes. Will you occasionally have to look through a dead person's files and probably find some weird stuff? Also yes. But you're providing a valuable service that's only going to be in more demand as time goes on. Now, the future career path here is massive. This emerging field is wide open for growth. Many digital estate managers expand into digital legacy planning, estate technology consulting, or even develop software solutions for managing digital assets. And as the field matures, specialists are positioning themselves as experts in a growing $5 billion market, with some building agencies that generate $300,000 to $500,000 a year.
Quick break, this video is sponsored by me. Most of you don't know that I actually have my own coaching program on personal branding and then growing and making money on YouTube. And this is good for complete beginners, maybe even people who just want to get a job by growing their personal brand, all the way up to people who are very advanced on YouTube. And they get to work directly with myself and my team to help them reach their goals. Now, we are opening up 3 to 5 spots, and this is pretty rare. We usually don't have these open. We usually only limit them to select people. But we're opening up 3 to 5 spots, and you can check those out down in the description and the pinned comment below. And in this program, you'll get to work directly with myself and other people who are highly successful on YouTube. Just as an example, Sean was able to go all the way from being stuck, not making very much money on his channel, to making over $500,000 a month. Now, that's an example of one of my more advanced students, but there's lots of examples of people who started off from scratch and they got to 5K a month, 10K a month, etc. So check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below.
All right, job number 6 is another one that you might laugh at, but people are making really good money doing this. And it's a virtual sleep coach. Now, imagine telling your parents that you're going to be a sleep coach and watch their faces as they wonder where they went wrong. But the funny thing is, you can actually make a lot of money doing this. In fact, virtual sleep coaches are making $75,000 annually, helping insomniacs and others with sleep disorders get better rest through remote consultations. Now, one thing I've realized being around extremely high-performing people like CEOs, business owners, etc., is they take their sleep very seriously. Getting good sleep can be the difference between making a good decision and a bad decision at a critical point. And it also has massive effects on your overall health. So in this position, you'll analyze sleep data from apps and wearables, conduct video consultations, and create customized sleep improvement plans for clients. And I found this sleep consultant's blog where she shares that she earns $895 per client consultation while working entirely from home in her pajama pants. And she switched from being an RN to sleep consulting specifically so she could pick her kids up from school every day, plus set her own schedule and even get free baby products from brands wanting collaborations. And companies like Sleepopolis, Proper, and various telehealth platforms hire sleep coaches to work remotely with clients worldwide. Now, you'll need some background in health, wellness, or psychology, and certifications in sleep science can definitely help you land a job. But many people get into this field through adjacent wellness careers or personal experience overcoming sleep issues. Think about it. You get paid to help people sleep better. No commute, no office politics, just you, your clients, and a whole lot of talk about circadian rhythms and sleep hygiene. And if you think about it, this is not that different than a personal trainer. People hire personal trainers all the time. There's literally tens of millions of them. And it's the same thing for sleep. And sleep is arguably just as important as physical fitness when it comes to your health. Now, when it comes to future career paths, sleep coaches often evolve into sleep specialists working in medical institutions, or becoming corporate wellness consultants focusing on employee sleep optimization, or launching their own sleep-focused wellness businesses. And the health optimization market is growing rapidly, with specialized consultants earning $100,000 to $150,000 annually after establishing their expertise. So I see jobs like this getting more and more important in the future because people don't understand how critical sleep is to their overall health and well-being. So don't sleep on this job. All right, all joking aside, the next job is a social media reputation cleaner. So have you ever Googled yourself and cringed at what comes up? Now imagine if your reputation literally depended on those results. Well, I found a job listing from a brand willing to pay $80 an hour for a remote reputation cleaner to remove negative content and provide constant upkeep of their online image. And here's some proof that these bizarre careers are actually hiring right now. And again, I see this one getting bigger and bigger in the digital age, because in this position, you basically help people and businesses remove damaging content and rebuild their online reputations. And they make $70,000 to $120,000 a year doing it remotely. So you'll develop strategies to push negative content down in search results, create positive content to replace it, and sometimes negotiate directly for the removal of harmful material. And this job requires a strange mix of PR skills, SEO knowledge, and content creation abilities, and sometimes negotiation tactics that border on social engineering. Now, is it occasionally ethically gray? Maybe. Will you sometimes be helping people who really did do the stupid thing they're probably trying to hide? Yeah, probably. But you'll also help people who were unfairly maligned, businesses that survived one bad review bombing, and others who genuinely deserve a second chance. And you'll do it all remotely, often charging premium rates for your specialized services. Now, this is one that you can do full-time, part-time, or as a freelancer, or you could just start your own business. Reputation management is huge, and this role frequently evolves into crisis management consulting, digital PR director positions, or even founding specialized reputation management firms. And as online presence becomes increasingly critical for career advancement and business success, experienced professionals can earn $150,000 to $250,000 annually managing high-profile clients' digital presence. Now, some other ones that almost made the list, I'm just going to list these off really quickly. I'm not going to go into detail on them, but virtual reality environment designers. Yes, this is a thing as well. Just like you have people that are professionals at designing workspaces or interior design, you're going to have this too. And there's already opportunities now. Another one is cryptocurrency forensic investigator. And yes, this is also a thing. And honestly, there's a lot of other ones, and I'm probably going to have to do future videos on these. Now, realistically, these are pretty weird jobs and they're pretty niche right now. So there's not like, hundreds of thousands of open positions for them, but I do see a lot of these getting bigger and growing into the future. So if you want to get your foot in the door while they're still small, you're going to set yourself up in pole position for those future jobs when the industries start to grow. So yeah, guys, check out the free resources, the newsletter, etc. That'll be down in the description and the pinned comment below. And also check out this video on 9 boring but guaranteed remote jobs that are nearly always hiring by clicking right here.